Okay, hey collective, I know you don't normally come on here and see me with the cards already out, but I've been doing a lot of pre-shuffle sometimes, and the stuff be coming out. I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and just read on this. So if you notice, there's like this whole set of caution signs, and it's about these triggers and whatnot, but I can't do all of them at the same time because there's like 20, so I'm calling this the 20 piece, right? Because you got this like 20 piece of people, of energies, that are vicariously, in some way, shape, or form, they're trying to live through you in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to examine those first few. So this is taking off of that reading that I was doing on the full moon and the wounded warrior. So this has a lot to do with that. And just so we're aware, this is literally just a clearing of energy. If you, like when I first started taking spiritual baths, the first energies that I wanted to clear were the ones that I remembered or knew, right? And there's also that part too that I got to put in here. But I wanted to cleanse the energy from the people that I knew, that I didn't want to be around anymore. Like for me, the first ones were like my baby daddies. So you may or may not know this about me, but I have two. I have 3 children, 2 baby daddies. The oldest one is my high school sweetheart. We met in, when I was freshman in high school, and he was this big senior on campus. So I had a great affinity for him, but I didn't have a child with him until long after. I was like 28 years old. So, well, long after, 13 years after we actually met and dated. And I think that was because I always felt like I was supposed to be with someone that I from my past. I wasn't yet under the complete knowledge of someone from a past life. Okay. So moving forward, second baby daddy, I actually married him before we ever had any children or anything like that. And this person was the person that I met in first grade. So you can see how I always had some type of like innate knowledge that it was going to be someone from my past that I would have a history with. I did not realize though that the history would actually be from a past life. And so it allowed for me to, even though some of these people were soulmates, to entertain these energies this lifetime. But essentially, if you were paying attention in that reading that I did about the wounded warrior and, how it became the wounded warrior, etc., etc. So it's because of the courage and the persistence, your faith being tested, you being resilient, you knowing to set boundaries. How? This is the last stand. You're gearing up for the worst pessimism and from what I understand, in any type of tiredness, it's kind of like there's this whole lane change. It's kind of like, now the wounded warrior is aware. Okay, we know where we're at. We know what we're doing. We have the right of way. There's this lane change and merge energy going on. Because I know that it's never really totally an energy of you being able to there's this change, this energy, sorry about that. There's this energy changing where it's like you're aware of the changes that need to be made. You're making the move, you're in direction, you're on course, etc., etc. You're making sure to start delegating things and not to get caught in any types of illusions or distractions, etc., etc. Give me 1 second. That's exactly what I said when I clicked it. Unless you do what's already open. Okay? All right. I get an energy of some people may want to convince you of something as well. You're going to have people coming trying to convince you. Oh no, you really shouldn't. But you got to know the difference, because this card came out while I was doing this pre-shuffle in this deck too. It's you're going to regret it if you go with any illusions, right? And that's what I believe the readers here are supposed to be helping individuals do. But again, when your energy goes and wavers and you get confused about where you stand in a reading, that's not your reader. Your reader is going to present to you things that make solid, perfect sense. When it goes back and forth and gets you feeling like you're in a struggle, that is not your reading. You don't want to be caught in that energy. Unless, of course, you do. Unless, of course, you want to still be in the battle. Because that's why the previous reading said, take a break. So that you can have more discernment. so that you can see what's right from wrong. You know, it's a whole like, they're going to elude you to how strong you really are if you allow that to take place. Okay, so here's this 20 piece. The first one is the exclamation point, which came out as the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups talks about creativity, romantic, charm, imagination, beauty, a knight in shining armor, following your heart, Prince Charming, proposals. So what they want to do is they want to burden you to think that you shouldn't take that type of action, or that you won't receive that type of action in your life, right? And they keep exclaiming that, you know, because that's coming out with this exclamation point. It's like, hey, don't focus on this. Hey, you're not supposed to have love. What they realize is that you've realized a lot more than they have. Everything that they wanted you to, that they've exclaimed you shouldn't have, you have guaranteed that you should. Just with in your own right, right? That's that right of way energy, right? Because you realize it's kind of like, it's just a jealous energy. It's a lot of it is projections, but it's mostly jealous energy. Fellas, there's a jealous girl in our town. It's even, you know, jealous men, you know, who's just, especially since a lot of these men are working from really bad emotional spaces, you know. Men can have mommy problems and daddy problems just the same. Just because they're a man doesn't mean they don't have daddy issues, right? A lot of people don't realize just because your parents were in your household don't mean that you don't have those issues. Because I have a friend who swears up and down she don't have no daddy issues, but her daddy was a crackhead and a cheater. To the day he died, and her mama sat by him the whole time and just kept putting it all together. And she doesn't see how it's like her mom taught her to be an enabler and to stick with situations. And this is the same friend of mine who hasn't divorced her husband, though they haven't been together since they started that marriage. Okay? They just been married on paper for, let's say, 15 years, 20 years. It's that type of energy. Those are generational curses. These are the things that these people don't realize that they're trying to put on you and to try to put into your life, or they just want to deflect from what their reality is and from what their issue is by focusing on something that they want to be yours. Okay? So it's like, oh, yeah, this person will never get married. Well, actually, you won't get married, and that's your projected energy because, you know, number one, you still attached to somebody in an actual marriage. You are actually on paper somebody else's person. And some people are like, oh, it don't matter because we ain't, and he in jail. And that does not matter. You are sitting there somewhere acknowledging this. And being unwilling at that to go and do anything about it. There's signs all over the place. $250 for the divorce. Go get it after the taxes, girl. Come on, huh? You can go file the paper yourself, actually. Okay? Then put in for a fee waiver. See if you can't get it for free under circumstances. Also, I feel there's an energy of people fighting over child support and, you know, all the rest of that. Now, here's the thing. Everybody should be entitled to get what they need to aid in the rearing and the raising of a child. At the end of the day, I'm the wrong person to ask about this because I'm one of those women who don't get nothing. $50 here, $60 here, who deal with the men who would rather not work a job or work under the table and stuff like that to avoid paying for their children. My children are 17, almost 18, 15, and 9. And I handle my stuff on my own. So I feel there's a lot of energy of people fighting for it in court. You know what I'm going to fight for in court? Parental rights to be taken away. Because to me, children spell love with T-I-M-E. You know, so you can send all the money you want, even though that's not happening. To me, it would be more like, is there a child support order that includes time? And then what you do with the time? You know, you can't just ship them off somewhere else while they're not in your care or the other person's care. You know, because there are parents that do that. You know, send their kid with their other kids, you know, their other child's parents, family members, or cousins. Send them over to their brother and sister's house. Oh, they staying at their uncle and aunties for a week. Child don't even know you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of energies out here that people are just in the wrong, and they're all focused on the wrong things, too. That's the other thing, too, is the real issue right now for a lot of these people is that they don't know exactly when, where, what, why, how you're manifesting, but they know that you are. And that's the thing. They want to know what it is so that they can try to interject some way. But What if so why don't they just go with you manifesting it all? Because if you would be a dummy to not want it all. That's what my thought process is. And all this is like, well, why not just have it all? Because it looks like that's what you can have, right? Who's to say you can't? Who's to say you cannot? Exclamation point. So this Knight of Cups. Let me get some cards out here about this Knight of Cups. All right. Knight of Cups. Trying to stomp on your creativity, blah, 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 blah. Hoping that you will get caught up in a cycle of like constantly thinking about what they're doing and not be able to focus on what you're supposed to be doing. So it's basically, you're not consumed with the same disruptions. So you have like the same thing as that energy is like 9 to 5. Your flexibility in your schedule works for everything that you need to do. If you need to get up at 3 a.m., and start a project and do some work on something, you have that flexibility. So that's the other part that they don't realize. Like you've set yourself up, you know, this alignment for warfare, I guess. You know, these lost souls, that's really just the biggest part. There's nothing left here in this alignment part. There's nothing left here in this warfare. Like that's all completely over. Now the focus is literally just on these lost souls, how they are under possession, how they're empty vessels, how they're, you know, passing around these spiritually transmitted demons. The energy of a demon can travel to any partially open vessel. So if someone spends too much time looking up other people in the internet aggravatedly, you know, trying to find out look and see if so-and-so subliminally posting, which you have nothing to do with them, right? If somebody subliminally posting, trying to get access to people like that, that energy is an open vessel for a demonic entity. And until people realize that, that's how they get this raw deal. They don't realize that the energy that they're in is what is opening them up every day to these demonic attachments. And then they sit around projecting this energy to the collective, thinking that the collective is not of sound mind enough to know that it's not their own energy. I was watching, who was it? Method Man or Red Man? Hold on. It was one of the two. It was either Method Man or Red Man. And he was saying how, let me look real quick, how he, Red Man. It was saying how Red Man had spoken about how he decided to not, you know, have sex anymore, you know, to be, you know, abstinent, celibate, whatever you call it, you know. And then as a result, he also realized like he has to remove himself from certain friends, because if those are the friends that like to go out and do that kind of stuff, then that's probably not going to be your best interest, and so on and so forth. And he said how he kind of eventually got into this isolation period where he was just having a lot of conversations with God and stuff like that, and where it's like people would look at you crazy because it's like you're in a daily relationship with the Lord. You were sitting up here totally in love and enamored and focused and, you know, all these different things on someone or something that has nothing to do with, you know, anybody else, you know, and people can't even see that, right? Because if God is your partner, if God is your number one, right? People can't see that. So you might look crazy. It might look like psychosis on the outside, right? Because here you are just completely complacent and happy-go-lucky and who you sharing these laughs and giggles and thoughts with? People don't, you know, it's, you know, or who are you expressing your frustrations to? People fail to realize how much God can actually be everything for a person. I think that's what they didn't expect you to know, like how much you could actually bear and still do everything you wanted to. All right, so what's this Knight of Cups? Creativity. So what could we expect? Yep. Wow. So it looks to me like someone who's been of thinking mind, like someone who's most I want to say in this last year or so cycle, so however long, but I'm saying no more than a year or two cycle, there's been somebody that's been constantly just watching and thinking. You know, if you've ever been to a baseball game or a softball game, they're so long, right? Oh my gosh, don't take me to one of those. Like, don't take me out to the ball game, like, for real. Like, bring snacks if you're going to take me. Like, I gotta do extra stuff because those games are long. But anyway, I feel like that's how that person sat too. Sat thinking really long and maybe even withholding their love. But I feel like it's defeated someone who was always in their King of Cups in reverse. So there's maybe some type of like energies that really aren't, you know, loving. They're really not, you know, they operate out of, you know, the King of Cups in reverse. Someone who's emotionally unstable. Someone who doesn't know how to, you know, who they feel like they're drunk in love, but that's like with everybody and it's like all the time. This is the type of energy or type of person who, let's say for instance, this is the type of person who says stuff like, I had a dream about you, to try to connect with people in the dream state. So this is the type of warlock that does that. And they don't care whether it's male or female, masculine, feminine. Yep, they don't care. They figure like, oh, okay, well, at any point in time, I can just get into different people's spiritual energy by saying that. Yeah. This person, like, I feel like always does their things very covertly, or has. But now I feel like a lot of the things that they're doing, people are trying to figure out you know, what's happening because of their own hopelessness is what I'm feeling. So people are trying to balance this out. So that's why this Temperance came out. Let me see what's the second. Ooh, the Flame. Ah, okay, yeah. With these recent fires and stuff like that, it has had a lot of people wake up. Let's just say that. Because when it doesn't happen right in your backyard, pay attention. When it doesn't happen right in your backyard, when it doesn't happen right in your backyard, you don't feel it the same. So essentially it's kind of like the flame getting closer and closer to people's homes, and they should start feeling it now. If they haven't, then they're in trouble. Because again, these embers and things like that fly through the air, apparently they can fly 30 plus miles and be invisible because they're so tiny, but they're all clustered. And your house can be on fire and you can be in it and you won't even know because there's no flames. It's just little tiny, tiny, tiny particles of ember. Grouped together, mind you. And that's what the energy was towards you, right? They tried to put you under fire and, you know, keep the flame at your feet and blah, 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 blah. And you stayed so tempered. Like you was just over there walking on water. They got you on flames and you walking on hot water. That, you pouring out tea. You up here pouring out tea for people like, they put me on all this hot water. Let me bring you some tea. Spirit's taking a different deck, girl. Silly. Okay, that was me. That was all me. Because that blue polish that I picked over the summer, it was called Walk on Water, and that's the reason why I picked it. Was number one, I was called to get blue, and I think that's because my divine masculine was in an energy of like blue. You know, when you can't get what you want, you know, you get blue in the, you know, scrotums. And I was feeling a lot of blue energy. I've never had blue before. I was tapping into childhood energy where I've always felt like I had to be, you know, more reserved, more this, more that, more dainty, this and that. And I've never gotten blue. And so I was like, I'm going to get blue. Shoot. Bam. Justice for me. And that is a lot of part about how you can work your magic. Like some people are like, oh, they're use magic. They talk about they use magic. Yeah, that's my magic. I change things up for myself by, you know, getting something different. You know, that's the magic. If that's what people were wondering too, like, what type of work are they doing? What type of stuff are they doing? They say they do this. They say they do that. Yes, we have already told you we do healing work. I don't think you understood what that really meant. Maybe you're under some perception that like there's some type of specific herbs or candle lighting or cord cutting or this or that or the other that requires something outside of self. It all requires self, right? And that's what you know. That's why you're able to give to people, even though it looks like you're standing on the hot water. You're standing on hot water because no one else could. Remember? It's like people wanted you to change lanes and it's like, no, if you want, we can merge for a little bit. You can see what it's like to either try to be in front of me or behind me. But essentially, you know, you're going to have to give me the right of way at some point. So just taking frame, I think, for these people. Okay, so this Temperance energy, the flame. Tell us more about this flame. Ooh. 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 Ooh, yeah. I like it. All right, so the card that flew out way over here is the King of Cups. King or Cups. King or Cups. How did it go from a King of Cups to a King of Cups? Because, well, we said that this person that has been sitting, watching you, thinking about you, never met you before, but want to meet you some more and more every day, just like you, them, right? that this person may have also been in that same energy, right? Letting that lead and guide. But it looks like even if they were, they aren't. Maybe seeing you in that energy, maybe experiencing you and, you know, what they experienced over the summer really helped them to feel a kind of certain balance within relationships, because that came out too, right? A certain type of balance in relationships that they've never felt. I think you're ready for love. I think you're ready for it. I feel like that's also the energy that's coming out too because of that. Like maybe somebody's wondering, like, how did I fall in love? How did he fall in love? How did she fall in love? And even if we told you the story A to Z, not leaving out a single piece, you might not get it because you have to live it, right? You have to experience things to make you think and get the lesson for yourself. Because though the lessons are similar, you know, in the aspect that it can be codependence, but it may look different to one person than the other. The codependency could be on family for one person, where the other person is like all friends, you know. For some people, it's all of the above. For some people, it's like being so independent. It could be the hyper opposite, right? Either way it goes, you've got to fix it. So that's why I'm like, people shouldn't really, you know, compare things. Ooh, Ace of Cups and Fortune Cookie. It's like, who would have thought I'd get you? I love that song. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. By Daniel Caesar. Oh my gosh. That's the kind of song you sit and listen to while you're taking a road trip too. I think that's something somebody needs to do next, is maybe make a little playlist for a road trip with you and your person. Ooh. Okay. Spirit saying, yeah, that's all about that new energy. This... Okay, so there's this thing that happens when you're in love and you're open to love and your heart is in the right place and your person is coming for you or towards you, you know, however that may be. But I know I've seen the signs and I know what's happening. It has a lot to do with like the lane change, merging, right of way type of energy. But ultimately what tends to happen is you'll notice that your heart is open to love, because even love songs that you may have heard back when you were really into, you know, Tony, for lack of other names. When you was into Tony could be a girl boy too, so don't get twisted. Tony, essentially, that song was like everything that described your love and your relationship and how much you felt for Tony. But you hearing it now, it's almost kind of like, how could I have ever thought? Like, you don't even think of the fact that you don't even think of Tony. It's just the fact that, like, wow, every love song, you know, is now me and this person. And that's the beauty of it. That's how you know your heart is fully open, because it's like the love songs have a purpose and a meaning to something that brings you hope. You know, this star energy is definitely hope, right? So it's like the love songs that you hear are bringing this hopeful energy to you. That's sitting in this forklift space, I believe. So we'll get there eventually, but let's focus on the fortune cookie. So this fortune cookie is kind of like a bolt, because this is the Ace of Cups, right? And in the Ace of Cups section on that, and on the list of the 20 piece, the third position on there. So 1, 2, 3, because this is you and this is you. So 1, 2, 3, the third position there, this Ace of Cups that came out when I was looking at those and just, you know, shuffling around, pulling cards to try to, you know, gauge what I needed to know. Because that's how I kind of meditate too on the message, just so you know. But that fortune cookie coming out there is like, it's bolt, Ace of Cups, and fortune cookie. And the Ace of Cups speaks all about motivational force, intuition, intimacy, love. So I believe that's what was fluid, what was seen, what helped the change take place, because both of you were able to experience, you know, this energy for and towards one another, where it was unconditional, right? You guys weren't expecting anything of it initially. That's why, you know, your no expectations happened from the beginning. That's why you were able to easily fall in love. That's, you know, and that's something that can't be undone, right? Because if you go into it with no expectations, just kind of free falling, that's how you fall in love. Oh, this makes so much more sense, right? Anyway, but that Ace of Cups energy, Ace of Cups is all about intimacy, love, you know. And that's what it was. Like, it was the love for self and the commitment to self that made you stay so strong in the correct energy, even while you started this process of falling in love with someone else. Like you fell in love with yourself. You were adamant about, I'm falling in love with me right now. I ain't messing with nobody. I'm falling in love with me. It's about me, 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 me. And then all of a sudden, there was you, collective. You feel the same way about the other person. Like, I kind of knew, but I didn't know. See, because I'm the one supposed to know. And I kind of knew, but I didn't know. It's like, it's exactly what I said I wanted, but I didn't know that I wanted it so bad. That might be an energy too. Like, I didn't know I wanted this so bad that it would literally materialize and make sure that it could never leave me. How's that for an epiphany, right? I wanted it so bad. Not only did it materialize, but it will never go away. And it's coming like a bolt. And that's the thing. It's like whoosh, a bolt of, what is this? Ace of Cups? A bolt of emotional force, right? A bolt of intuition, a bolt of intimacy, a bolt of love. You're feeling that all around you, right? Man, it's 20 pieces. Something good. Because it's like where they wanted to put you on fire and make you feel like you were getting too old or you were too young or whatever fire they want to put out, or you haven't enough money, or you do have enough money. You got too many baby daddies. You don't have no experience with kids. Like whatever it is, whatever flame they want to put on you, that was fizzled out. You're walking on warm water. It's nice. And it's perfect for a pedicure, actually. Because that's what I was doing too. I love it. You like it? I love it, collective. All right. So that's that bolt. Ace of Cups bolt. Fortune cookie energy. Let's look at fortune cookie. Since we here. Fortune cookie, fortune cookie, fortune cookie. Fortune cookie meaning what it's saying. A thin folded cookie containing a slip of paper with a prediction or aphorism written on it. Served in Chinese restaurant. Maybe you're traveling to Asia. Maybe that's something you want to do. Fortune cookies symbolize good luck cookie. Good luck biscuit. They often symbolize luck, fate, and wisdom. That's so awesome. And I love how different, things from different cultures are always included in these readings too, that they don't necessarily come from one place or another, or, dive into one, religion, culture, etc., etc. It expands, but anyway, this acai bowl still look yummy as I don't know what, and that's very new age compared to the fortune cookie. You see what I'm saying? All right. Aphorism. I don't know. I just thought that we should know what that means because I didn't really know what it meant, but I read it. But anyway, aphorism. A pithy observation that contains a general truth such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So basically, it's kind of like defining too. Ooh, that's awesome, because the Greek part of that word is define. And then definition. Maybe even something that you were hoping for, looking for, wanted since you were 16. Because it says since the early 16th century. So I'm just going to take it. Looking just a little bit more at this definition before I head out. Before I head out of the definition. Let's go to Wikipedia. Okay, let's translation of the name. Ooh, it's fortune words. Okay. All right. So maybe you do need to write your things down, collective, and start saying them. Maybe it's that time. Maybe it is that time for them fortune words to come out your mouth, universal sweetheart. Okay. So get that fortune word on. So that's how you're going to. Because if you think about it, a bolt coming in connection with water and all of this water and fire and, energy. So, that's really kind of another kooky combination, I guess. That's going to be the right, measurements for whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. Which I think is everything. Oh, all right. Now, they wanted you to see this as a difficult decision. They want you to feel like this is a difficult decision. They want you to feel like you're moving too fast. They want you to feel like you're moving too slow. They want you to feel like you don't know where to go. They want you to feel afraid. They want you to feel afraid to go on vacation. They want you to feel afraid to be at home. They want you to feel... Do you get my drift? They want this to be some type of radioactive energy in your life. That everything is a difficult decision. You're always having trouble weighing these options. You're always avoiding. You're always in deadlock. What they didn't see was this, though. The Six of Pentacles. You know, that them not having pretty much the resources, the knowledge, or the power regarding your stuff is really what's ruined their circumstances. It's put them in this type of energy where they're trying to figure out, you know, what to say no to. Ooh, that's not good for them. Okay, so this radioactive energy that they were in, tell us more about how that's playing out. Radioactive. Thank you. Don't be fooled by my appearance. My soul is resplendent. So essentially what I'm getting here is that you have been comfortable where you're at because you already knew that once someone got to where they needed to be, because you're not here to push anybody. That's the energy I get too, because it's taking me a while to pull this up, because it's like, yeah, once someone got to where they needed to be to see you, yeah, see, because it says don't push me, and then it says do not do this today if you don't want to. So it was like your capability to like be kicked back was what made this not a really difficult decision. Like, it's not hard if someone's not pushing you, they're not pressing you, they're not saying you got to do this now, you got to do this today, no one, you know, everybody's right now, that, you know, that may be the energy from the past people too, just always wanting you to think that like today is the day that you're going down in demise. And it's like, how? I have my own plans. They might think you over here still weighing your options, avoiding deadlock. But I feel like that's because that's right where you want them to be. Right? Because at a certain point, there's this Six of Pentacles, right? That flew right up over here. And it was like you had to balance things out in your favor, right? Eye for an eye. So maybe if these people went around telling you things or went around talking about your business, now you're giving them fake business to go spread because it's not theirs anyway. So even if they're going around saying good things, you're now giving them good things to go and say. I don't know. But that's just what I'm feeling. It's like you're out there just kind of still relishing in your true divinity, in the fact that you know that they're not going to give up their ways. But they may, I mean, as long as the wool is over their eyes, it's over their eyes, right? Don't be fooled by my appearance. My soul is resplendent. Let me look at the word resplendent, because I feel like your soul knows what it's supposed to do, and you're not crossing any boundaries, and you're not breaking any rules, because why are you in my business? So the first, it's kind of like people that throw stones in glass houses. They're usually throwing it because they're seeing something outside their house that they don't like. Number one, why'd you build your house with glass walls? Like, why would you do that? Knowing that you had the type of anger and frustration that caused you to constantly be focused outwardly and throw, and that you like to get angry enough to throw the things like, I saw so much stuff there. I can't stand breaking down the mind of maniacal minions. Because they're all like, you know, the devil's plaything at this point. They're idle hands, you know. Oh, I'm get up first thing in the morning and go look up so-and-so. Like, why don't you sit still for a minute? You know, people be so quick and ready to do stuff, you know. Okay, we're looking up resplendent. Attractive. Ooh. Richly colorful and sumptuous. Sumptuous. Ooh, from the Latin word glitters. You shine from the inside out, don't you? Let me see, collector. Let me see. Yes. Anyway, let's break into the Six of Pentacles. What they was talking about, what they was Six of Pentacles. Oh yeah, that's them not having the information. So basically all that can actually be seen at this point is just how bright you shine. Every time you on their mind. is fine if they want to waste their time worrying about mine. It's kind of that energy. Like, they have a whole theme song. And if you are well versed in what you're doing right now, you can follow etheric chords, right? Chords, however you want to pronounce it when we get into that, dimensional, tethering. If someone can send something to you, if someone can project their energy to you and you're an empath, that means you can feel the energy, right? What they did not bet on is what you, and I think that's what got people right here, right now. This anxiety, this worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, and despair. What happened for them to get there? Well, you sat with yourself so long, you knew your energy, and then you started to follow those cords back to whomever they were within the dimension, right? And even if it went to another dimension, because you had learned how to time travel, how to, astral project, how to do all these things while you're just sitting there and they making fun of you talking about it, but you own it. Now, unbeknownst to these bubble heads, you can follow it back. You can follow it back to people and you're like, whose face is this? I don't even know you. It could be some bum that this person is talking to, giving some few dollars outside of the store to talk mess to them about you so that you can go, you tell them, give me $50, you tell everybody. You don't even live in the same place as this person. And this person could literally be out there just spreading rumors somewhere you don't even stay just because they know how the energy works, right? That's why you're so protected, though, because you can follow it back. And even if they had someone else do it, you can follow it back directly to the person. So if someone is out there spreading the rumor that somebody else started about you, you can find the person that is connected to it. And that's where it gets cut off. That's why stuff is sticking to these people and people are seeing who they are, because more and more collective bodies are starting to understand. So it's not just because it's like you being able to follow that cord. If someone meets up at some point in the ethers with you and they're like, wait a minute, that's the same plight as me, and they connect, they can follow their cord too, to the same type of entity, because it's floating through all these people, right? All these lost souls. So it's almost like, it's just wild to me. I'm guessing some people are now trying to like put money in front of you and let that be the reason. Give me the reason to watch your back. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Anyway, what's this? We would fortune cookie. What was this here? Oh yeah, that Two of Swords. And that Two of Swords was right there in that radioactive. So yeah, they wanted that to be all over you. They didn't want love to be all over you like Monica. But that's what happened. I ain't gonna try to belt that one out right now. I need some tea before I try to do that. And a vacation. No, I'm just kidding. But so that's got them now in this Nine of Swords. So they're frequency sensitive right now, because the frequencies that they've been on are low vibrational. So everything that's hitting them is low vibrational, because that's where they dwelled, right? That's the energies they work out of. So their frequency is sensitive right now. That's that Nine of Swords energy. And the frequency and sensitive is coming from that 20 piece. All of these little caution trigger signs. And these are all triggers that they're having right now in their life. And I'm only getting some at a time, I think, for the very purpose for them to kind of, or people around them, etc., to kind of look and be like, oh, dang, I see. Yep, that frequency sensitive. Okay, tell us more about this. I need a different deck. Tell us a little, can I get something? Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah, that abuse of power. Yep. So you're sitting here drama free. You don't wear a mask, right? You don't wear a mask. So that's one part of it too. Is this yours? Yeah, we can do that together in a minute. Okay. You stay drama free. Like, you're literally like eating ice cream and having fun. Yeah. You're enjoying like the natural beauty of life, of parenthood, of relationships, of getting to know someone, getting to know yourself. Because I feel like you're out of that getting to know you, unless you just, drop some zero. But if you had already been on the, the limbo, you've been getting to know someone for a year, very slowly and cautiously, and kind of taking it, by letting nature take its course, right? Not abusing your power, but still understanding like, okay, the way to remain drama free while I try to figure out this is to not abuse my power. So that's also saved you a lot too, because it's like once a person abuses the power, it becomes a part of them, is what they're not seeing. Like, this person is covered in all of the things that they abuse their power for and with and to, right? So the reason why I use people that are in the public eye, etc., is because if I mention somebody else, you won't know who I'm talking about, and you won't understand the magnitude of the experience without me using a, celebrity or someone in public eye. So in this instance, I'm going to use Lori Harvey. So let's say in Lori Harvey's situation, the abuse of power that took place for her, let's say, is with Future, right? That was the one that got all the balls rolling, right? And let's say Lori was actually a good girl. She was drama free. She wasn't out there trying, sleep her way up, right? But this is the image that Future's put out there. So at this point, if Future is abusing his power, it's going to stick. Now, I don't know who likes Future. I don't know who likes Lori Harvey, but I'm sure people like both of them, right? However, it doesn't negate whether or not someone misused their power, right? However, the other thing is that when someone abuses their power like that, the goal in order for you to overcome and really get into the right position is to not do the same things. And a lot of people forget that. A lot of people go, okay, well, this person used me. And so then they hold that same energy. And you could probably see that if you look at Lori's dating history. It's kind of like, ooh, maybe she really is tainted from the experience with Future, right? Well, maybe she didn't get the things that Sierra got, in that prayer afterwards, because her relationship seems to consistently be, a year, ish, and it's kind of move on when, she may look back and be like, dang, that one guy that I was engaged to was good, but there may have been issues with that person too, right? Because some people, I saw some pictures of somebody she was engaged to, some guy, but he kind of look a little, look a little like he has sugar in his tank, and who knows what people's issues are, right? But at the end of the day, it's about recognizing like, oh, okay, Future isn't actually what I want to associate myself with, but how do I ever erase that part of history? How do I turn that leaf? And honestly, by yourself, because now it's gotten to the point to where everybody that comes up that's attractive, they're trying to pit this girl with that person, right? Because that's the energy that she allowed herself to kind of be in, but maybe not even realizing it, just trying to seem like she's, the it thing and, the thing to be desired. It maybe actually kind of put her into, a different type of energy where it's like you falling down on the couch, kind of flat on your face because it's like, these are not getting to where you want them to. But meanwhile, you was thinking the whole time that you were treating yourself to whatever you want. I can date anybody I want. I can this, I can that. Yeah, but what do you really want though? What do you really want, And I think that that's something that Sierra, after her experience with the Future, realized and maybe came to, the understanding just like the collective. And she said, I want somebody who gets it right. And then here comes Russell. And for anybody being concerned about how many baby daddies and this and that, so what? It's people out here lying about how many baby daddies they got in the first place because they lie. You know what I mean? They got 2 or 3 kids thinking their daddy is somebody and it's not. You feel what I'm saying? So don't even trip off of anything. I looked at my grandmother. I was like, she had a gang of baby daddies. Because my grandmother, she had 6 baby daddies, in my opinion. Was she married to several of them? Yes. I think there were only like 2 people that she didn't marry. But at the end of the day, them all baby daddies. You feel me? So, I don't harp on the situation because it's like some things you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and accept it and it be your thing, right? And don't let, and just be mindful, moving forward because stuff can come back to bite you. And I feel like that's what's happening to a lot of people. They spoke about other people. They abuse their power in that way. And now they're not okay. Now they can't even control what's happening around them. They can't even say anything in their own defense at this point. That's coming through this. What is this? Ooh, that 9 of Swords. Yeah, I could see that. Frequency sensitive. Yeah, so they're sensitive to everybody around them. And I feel like it's going to happen until they get okay. Like until they actually heal. They're going to be sensitive to what they're hearing, what they're seeing, what they're experiencing, what they know. Okay? That's, the result, For the collective, I feel like you continuing to, again, let nature be your ally. Let things play out as they should. Focus on what your goal was, what you could do. Because remember, it's that whole thing like you can't control the things that are outside of your control, right? So don't even worry yourself with them. I don't know. That's definitely not exactly verbatim how the saying goes, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's like, So you found new ways to experience familiarity in your life and create happy memories and reminisce on things that brought you great comfort, which was a part of your childhood wound healing, right? For me, it's crunching leaves. It might be getting a bomb pop for somebody else from the ice cream machine. Ice cream truck, just all of these things that bring up really good childhood memories of innocence and joy and nostalgia. And I feel like that's what you're creating with your person too. Because you guys have, your own life experiences, but now you guys get to come together. Ooh, what's this? Now where you've had to get into the energy of standing up for yourself, right? Those boundaries, those good boundaries. Everybody hates when they mean, what do you mean you're not going to help pay for my such and such? Yep, nope. And that was another download I got too. Some people, maybe divine masculine, divine feminine, both, even realizing how people will spend their money when they think that it's yours. Like, so if you invite someone to go out and do something and they just, spend up, they do it. And let's say you call and say, I couldn't make it, but they already ordered all this stuff at the table and now they're stuck kind of energy. And they're like, oh, well, I ordered all this to the table. And you're just kind of like, okay, thanks for thinking of me, but I'm not going to make it. They're expecting that you would foot the bill. And maybe someone even said something like that. Well, I don't really have the money to pay for it or something. They you picked up on what they was putting down basically. And you realize like, oh, so you just sat down and started ordering and eating and stuff. And this is hypothetical. You just sat down and started ordering and eating stuff, not even considering like, if you were spending your own money, because you just automatically assume that you can spend mine it's just something like that. Like there's this entitlement, like encroaching, feeling as though you're insignificant unless you can take care of what they need you to take care of. It's something like that. And, you're really in this energy of moving on and balancing out and solutions and harmony and healing and, the empathy for yourself, in this star energy, empathy for yourself while you're in this do not disturb regeneration process, right? And I feel like you'll be in that until you get to your pop out, right? Your pop out and your pop up. You might pop up on the scene here and there, but your real pop out, nobody really knows because there's so many, though. I feel like there's going to be so many people are going to be like, oh, that was it. And it's going to be like, nope, it's going to be something else coming like after the other. Kind of like when you eat an acai bowl, you know what I mean? You've got the peanut butter, you got the fruit, you got the nuts, you got the coconut, you got the, acai. Don't forget the big part, the acai. But that's where you're at right now. So you're in this forklift energy, which is what's coming out here with the Six of Cups, right? And the Six of Cups is the familiarity, happy memories, reminiscing, childhood memories, instant joy. So standing up for yourself, being, healing that inner child, right? Because again, you got to be completely healed to get to what you want, right? Fully, let's say. You can get some of the stuff, but you can't get all of it until you, relieve that pressure. But nonetheless, and to relieve the pressure, it might have taken a forklift. That's symbol number 6 on the 20-piece trigger spots. Also, that forklift has removed you from the old stuff. Like for me, it was the way of thinking that it was someone from my past. Now understanding like, oh, okay, these people in my past were all put in place to teach me a lesson. And the quicker I learned the lesson, the quicker I could start meeting the people that were not put in my life for that specific lesson, right? That are for my highest good, for the things that I want, not, the things that I need to learn in order to get the things that I want, in order to attain, be in that world card energy. So this is beautiful enlightenment, people, beautiful enlightenment. There's also this energy of people not realizing where to set the flame. So, oh yeah, that's okay. So people are trying to time things and this and that and like, oh, they think that they're stalling, but in reality, let's say for instance, someone did set those fires, right? They would want it to get everything, right? So they wouldn't want to place, light the fire too soon and not actually allow the people who were putting down the gas, right, for that flame to be followed, right? Because if it's like, okay, if the flame catches up with them with the gas thing, then they can't maybe get to the last places. So there's that type of energy, that divine timing. It's kind of like, oh, no, we don't like this fire until we're sure we've gotten every piece apart. And that's what we know as a collective body right now, is that these flames that we're seeing right now, they are literal. They are literal. All offenders needed to be identified. Oh yeah, and that's that magician energy. Okay, because I put that down here. I was like, oh, all offenders need to be identified. So that's the 7th position here. So if you can go from 0 to 7, and let's see. So 0 would be the possibility of life, is that first part. The possibility of life came to you when you were in this wounded warrior, right? Because until you're down, you can't see how to get up, right? So you could be falling, but until you've fallen, you don't know where you're working off from, right? So that already happened. And so then you needed to get to this manifestation energy, right? But you had to, instead of you getting there, you had to go through the exclamation point, the flame point, the bolt point, the radioactive point, the frequency sensitive point, the forklift point, you know, so on and so forth. Now you're in that. All of the offenders needed. Yeah. Where to set the flame. Oh, this is the other thing too, that people want you to be under this possession mindset. I'm just going to put it out there like that. Yeah. So they want you to be under some possessive mindset of that. The reason why you haven't met anybody, or the reason why this and that and this and that, is because these people put something over you, right? And they put something over the other people. That's what I want. The only time they put something over you is when you believe that. So the only time somebody can possess you and put some type of hex and spell on you is when you believe that they can. Okay? So when that comes up, it's your job. I know sometimes we need help, right? But it's your job to say no, right? Because that's you acting and creating and manifesting with holding your power in your own hands, being self-confident, having clarity when you're being told something different, the willpower to say something different, the skill to, you know, identify what's different, and the creativity to make sure that it's different. Yeah, that's right here on this card. So, you know, granted, sometimes we do need help, right? But again, the previous reading said, you know, get out of the readings, especially if they keep your energy going back and forth, you know. You want to stay on a constant flow towards the direction that you're putting yourself, right? The possessions only come when you allow somebody else to get on board in your vessel, right? So that's why they can't. There's not a day that goes by that somebody else feels as though they really made you change your lane or what you're trying to do. They know that. Okay. A lot of times what I noticed was, as soon as I cut cords with people or emotionally want to detach, etc., they will try to pop up. So now these people probably don't have any access to you. They can't call your phone. They can't email you. They can't get on your Instagram, you know, and message you from their page. Right. So now they have no choice but to try to be energetically present and doing the same things. It's like, no, you know, they don't realize either the fact that the flame's been set, right? And so now it's just following the trail. But that's also saying to you, collective, like, don't regret anything. Whatever you see them experience and go through, don't regret it. Don't ever regret it. That's also the thing too. They want you to be in some type of like survivor's remorse. But just understand, like, if someone could actually be fooled, or whatever they want to call it, into believing. So if someone could be possessed by the idea of something negative towards you, they weren't suitable in the first place. That's what I also want people to stop holding on to. Like, they turned everybody against me. Those people were never for you. They were for you to learn a lesson. And that you were here for them to learn a lesson. If they don't learn their lesson, then they just don't get to the cycle of completion. You know, they stay there, hung up to the fact that they're still trying to work on you, but you've already left. You know, isn't that what an illusion really is? Let's pay attention. Isn't that what possession really looks like? Isn't that what a hex or a spell really is? Because I don't see these people coming up. I don't see these people going into positions and doing new things and, you know, creating anything. I see them totally focused on the wrong things and trying to hold on tight to what even may be left. But anyway, so if they convince anyone, it was to their own detriment. Don't ever feel like, you know, don't ever feel like you're not okay because of someone else choosing to do wrong. There are plenty of good people out here, okay? But not everybody, you're not for everybody, and everybody ain't for you either. Especially if you believe in having, this very pure and good life, this utopian type of lifestyle. You create what you want. You always have, right? And if you want to continue to create fears and blocks and obstacles, and continue to testify in that energy and be like, I know they just attacked my money and it worked. No, the hell it didn't. What's your lesson you need to learn about money right now? Is it that you need to not be dependent upon a job? Is it that you do? Which one is it? Is it that you need to be excited when you get up in the morning and go to work? Or is it, what is it? I hear hurt dogs hollering out there now. Yeah, there's no justification needed. Again, this card comes out a lot for the collective. There's no justification needed at this point. I think, and it's not that you're trying or we're trying to give any justification. This is what we've been doing from the gate, right? Now it's just the shoe is on the other foot. We're telling these karmics like, hey, guys, you're in trouble. Better alone than in bad company. If people choose to learn that lesson or not, that's really on them, right? Cannot control the things we cannot control. Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, it's totally up to you what you decide to burden yourself with, like Kai said, slavery is a choice. You can choose to be someone who does this, you can choose to be someone who travels and, just lives, like that. You could be someone who studied a long time, but you could make any of these decisions and still find out that you chose wrong, right? Because life is like a box of chocolates, right? You don't know. So, you just make educated choices, that's all we can do. And have no expectations. Just know that you made a good choice based on your own values and what you really wanted and how you changed your life and the people around you, But what I see here is some people they chose what they wanted. They really did, They have the right to choose something better for themselves, And at the end of the day, it's kind of like being committed to what makes you happiest, I'm getting some energy off of this doctor in this card because I feel like some people have went to school for years, right? Like years and years and years, and do not enjoy, what they do. They would rather be doing something else, or they found out that the healthcare industry isn't what they really wanted to be in. And it's maybe just kind of while you're in that mode, figuring out what you want to do for yourself. Yeah, taking that break to really sit down and think about okay, I don't want to be a physician anymore, but I also don't want to be a housekeeper, and I don't want to be this, don't want to be that. How do I get to where I want to be? That's the biggest question, right? The 50s diner fast food restaurant. 10 of Pentacles. Ooh. Yeah, some people are even realizing too that money can, maybe that's what was realized in this past period for Divine Masculine, is that money cannot buy you love. Can't buy you love. Can't buy you happiness. Yeah. And they really wanted to choose. Yeah. And as a result, I had to choose something healthy. I had to choose something that would consistently quantify value, because I feel like bananas are a good, safe, healthy, option, especially if you don't have any allergies to it. You can literally just pull a banana and have something healthy each day. And I feel like some people were neglecting the things that would make them, most feel full, like the healthy snacks that would help them maintain a healthy balance in their diet and fill them up kind of energy. But that's all changed because these are the two that came out. The baseball card, which is a star card again, right? And the world card. So someone really has completely committed. That's what I'm understanding. There's a complete commitment to, there's a complete commitment. Is this a star card? I'm getting sleepy. Complete commitment to the hope and the serenity of this new beginning. Okay. Yeah, because that's the star card and the outer space, the world card. Yeah. And it is something that, was worked hard for. But like I said, when's the last time you had a good sausage? I got $19 for a lap dance, but I only got $1 for a cigarette. Give it to me now. My bad. My East Oakland be coming out. But anyway, I hope that this has been helpful and insightful in some way, shape, or form. It looks like, you know, everything's, look at this Ace of Pentacles and the strike, a 10 of Pentacles. Man, don't get no better. I feel like you already know that, collective. You already know, you know, you checking in to see, you know, where you at with things, you know, where this tower is for everybody. And it's, you know, it's good. It's all gravy, you know. All right, I hope this has been helpful and insightful in some way, shape, or form. And I'll catch you on the next one.